This video I want to speak about the reality of real fighting. I've gotten a few questions about this directly from people about this fight or this sparring that I put out there in the video where I'm getting beat up by 3 guys, right? And people are questioning me about that video, right? And I want to explain that. Now I want to show to the public, let people know that I'm being real. Not here to make it seem like I'm a superhuman, I'm a superhero, that I can beat up everybody in this world, no matter who it is. I'm not here to try to falsify things. I'm just here trying to promote real Kung Fu and a real development, that's real. Not steroids, no shortcuts, just real development. And the fact of the matter is, no matter how much I'm trained, no matter if I've been trained for 20, 30 years, if I train every single day, if I train 2 hours a day, 4 hours a day, no matter how strong I am, I could get stronger. No matter how strong I am, there's people out there stronger than me. No matter how fast I am, there's people out there faster than me. No matter how much I train, I'm still a small guy. And I don't forget that. And that keeps me grounded. It keeps me to humble and modest, to know that no matter how much I train, I can't run away from death. And people, if they want to beat me, they can. Easy way, just grab a gun and blast me out. That's no problem. But even with unarmed combat, you got all these combat sports, all of them, every single one, from boxing to kickboxing to Thai boxing to taekwondo to the cage fighting to whatever combat sport you could think of, it's all one-on-one. And that's not how real combat always is. A lot of times in real combat in the streets, it's not one-on-one. You got a group of people that want to beat you down. It might be 4 against 1, 3 against 1, 2 against 1, 10 against 1. It might be somebody coming behind you with the weapon, with the bat, with the knife, with the stick. So I want to show to the public the reality of how real fighting is. It's dirty, and it's not clean. And you can be trained all you want, but basically, you cannot survive every situation. They got all these movies out there that based on fantasy that misperceive to people how real combat is. You got one skinny ass person and one female that's just beat up 100 guys in a row. It's so easy. And I want to show to people that, really, if there's 3, for example, I'm a small guy, 5'5", 145. The 3 people that I put in that sparring match with me, they're all close to 200 pounds or more than 200 pounds. They all weigh more than me. They're all bigger than me. And all 3 of them were pretty strong. One of them was really athletic. And basically, he knew what he was doing. So all it takes is just one person to know what they're doing, and then you're in big trouble. If you're fighting 3 guys and one of them is a martial artist or one of them knows what they're doing, you're in trouble. So all they have to do in a confined space like that is get a hold of you, take you to the ground. Once you're on the ground, you're done. There's nothing you can do. They'll beat you down as much as they want. And that's what the police do when they want to take out an offender. They might have somebody that's strung out on crack and he's strong as hell. They'll have 5 officers come on scene and they'll have each officer go for a limb. One person goes for the leg, another person goes for the other leg, one person goes for the arm, another person goes for the other arm, one person goes for the head, and so on and so forth until they just drive him down, get him to the ground, throw cuffs on him. And there's really nothing you could do. Look at the NFL. You got these running backs that are extremely in shape, extremely athletic. They're really fast. But as soon as somebody gets a hold of them, then everybody starts coming and they just stockpile them. And there's nothing you could do. So in a reality combat, based on no rules, once they take you to the ground and there's multiple people, you're done. Alright, so if not necessarily you're done, but the people, if they're very athletic, they're bigger than you, they're stronger than you, they're just as trained as you, or if there's just one person that's just as trained as you, or they know a lot, you're in big trouble. Now, if you're talking about, say you're a big guy, say you weigh 200 pounds, and there's 3 guys that are 150 pounds, and they're coming after you, and you're trained, there's a good chance that you might be able to take them all out, because they're all smaller than you. You can easily, potentially, knock each one out with one punch, one blow, one elbow, one knee strike. Right? Size and weight makes a big difference. So if you're big, you're 200 pounds, you're in very good shape, very strong, very athletic, and you're highly trained, and everybody else weighs less than you, and they're trying to attack you, and they're not that trained, you can take them out if you're trained. But if you're 200 pounds, you're in great shape, and then you got other guys that are 220, 240 pounds, and they're in great shape too, and they're coming after you, you're in trouble. Especially if at least one of them is trained. Because all they got to do is get one guy to get control of you. And then the other ones pounce on you, and you're in big trouble. Now, if there's a rule to say that, nobody can take you to the ground, like that's not allowed, then you could survive a situation. Stand up fighting, they will have a difficult time if you're trained. So basically, that is the situation. And that's the reality that I see. And really, you don't see it in combat sport because you don't see multiple people attacking you. It's only one-on-one, same weight class. But that's not how it really is in real life. You might be weighing 145 pounds, 150 pounds, and you got to deal with somebody that's 200 pounds. And one person to deal with is already enough of a challenge. Throw in another one, and then throw in another one on top of that, or more, and keep throwing in more people. You're done. But, as I stated, if everybody is your size, your weight, or less than you, you can take them out if they're not that trained. You notice in Bruce Lee movies, he would illustrate that pretty well. He's a small guy, so basically when he would fight multiple people, they're all scrubs, they're all skinny and weak, they don't know nothing. And he just takes them all out. And another reality is, okay, you're dealing with multiple offenders. If you got a weapon and they don't got a weapon, then you can survive the situation. And it's not going to be that difficult if you know what you're doing. You got a stick, you got a knife, you got a nunchuck, you got a gun, you can take them all out. That's the reality of it. But the reality is unarmed combat. The people are trained, they're bigger than you, they weigh more than you. And if one person knows what they're doing, you're in trouble. That's the reality of it. If you think about like these boxers that are seen to be at a high level, like Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, or like say Mayweather. All right, Mayweather's undefeated, right? But imagine if you throw Mike Tyson against Mayweather and Muhammad Ali against Mayweather and Evander Holyfield against Mayweather all at the same time. Mayweather might be weighing 140 pounds, whatever, 130, and here you got 200 pounds, three guys over 200 pounds, solid muscle, solid skill, coming at him, he's done. That's the reality of it. But if there's a regulation that says you can fight each one individually, one after another, then he could potentially win the situation, potentially. But if you throw them all at him at once, he's done. All you gotta do is just one person take him to the ground, all 3 of them take him to the down, it's over. But if the rule is, hey, you can't take him to the ground, then he might be able to survive, potentially. But that is the reality of real combat. But they don't show that to you in the movies. They don't show that to you in combat sport. But that's the reality of it. And that's what I used that video to illustrate. And I'm trying to show these videos to let people know that, hey, I'm not sitting here to try to say that I'm the best and I can overcome any situation. That is clearly a situation that I could not overcome. And just like with anything, if you're bench pressing and you're strong, say, you weigh 150 pounds and you could bench 300 pounds, and that's a lot of weight, that's double your weight. But that might be impressive, but just throw on more weight. Try to do 400. Now you can't do it anymore. So you've met your limitation. It's the same thing with the sparring. All right, you fight good against one person? Okay, throw another guy in there. 2 guys at once. Are you good with 2 guys? Throw in 3. Good with 3? Throw on 4. You're good? Throw on 5. Just keep throwing on the guys until you can't take it anymore, and then it's done. And that's pretty much how the training is. You can always find the person's limitation of how far they could advance and grow. And that's what I want to illustrate to the people, to show the people the reality of it. I don't care if you've been trained for 30 years. I point this gun in your head, I shoot it, you're dead. And that's the reality of it. So just notice, that's why this ground fighting thing is silly, is because almost anybody can tackle somebody down, and they tackle them down, then it's, wait, that's it? I mean, it's like football. You just tackle them down, that's it. And then people make it seem like they're so talented because they can tackle somebody, but like, you just tackled them. Big deal. Why don't you try to fight them standing up? It's like, for me, I'm a small guy. Of course a lot of people can tackle me. They tackle me, just start pounding on me, and then it's done, right? Where's the skill? Where's the talent? You just tackle somebody. It's not football. This is like martial arts, not football. And people are trying to treat like martial arts like it's football. Oh, just tackle him and ground and pound him. Now I'm the greatest fighter in the world. It doesn't work like that. You're a football player. You're not a real martial artist. You might be a violent fighter or a football player, but you're not a real martial artist. So people just go around trying to tackle people, and they think that's martial arts. It's like these people, they don't get it. In a real situation, in real ground fighting, and you got somebody that's small and you tackle them, you don't want to tackle somebody that knows what they're doing, because you might be coming out with a missing ear or a missing nose, or you might be blinded to death. You'd be blinded for the rest of your life. So you got these stupid cage fighters and these stupid rules where they're saying, oh, there's ground fighting, but then there's no biting, there's no eye gouging, there's no this, there's no that, there's no fish hooking. All right, so you're telling me you attack a dog, you attack a lion, you're gonna tell the dog or the lion not to bite? That's what they're gonna do to survive. So if you tackle somebody that's small, then expect to be blinded for the rest of your life. Expect to lose an ear. Expect to get bitten as hard as you can until you will scream for mercy. But you just tell, oh, it's okay to ground fight, but then it's not okay to do all these 30 rules, a list of 30 rules of things that you can't do. You can't do any of that to stop it though. But there's ground fighting. So these people, really, they're dumb in the head. It's like telling a police officer, it's not okay to shoot your gun when somebody else is threatening you with a knife. It's like, no, the dude's threatening me with a knife, I'm taking out my gun, I'm going to shoot his ass. And that's the reality of real combat, you understand? And they're not showing you this in combat sport, they're not showing you this in the movies. Because in the movies it's all fantasy, and combat sport is another version of fantasy. But the reality of it, survival training, is not pretty. And there's no guarantees. No matter how long you've been training, there's no guarantees of your survival. So that's kind of my explanation about that video I put out there, or those videos I put out there. And I just want to let people know the real. I'm not sitting here trying to say that I'm the best in the world. Not at all. But I want people to know about the reality of the real martial arts.